guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a fall haul of all of the bassoon goodies that I have been buying over the last couple of months. The first thing that I have to share with you guys is not actually something that I purchased, but something that was sent to me that totally warmed my heart. This is a seat strap with giraffe print that was sent to me by my friends at BOCAL Majority who know how much I love giraffes and love representing my brand of raff reeds. Yeah! After hanging out with them at IDRS, they mentioned they might have one of these, and then when this arrived in the mail, it made my day. So this has taken playing sitting down to a whole new level. The next thing I have to share with you guys is my micrometer. Now, I didn't actually need to buy a new micrometer, but my micrometer, I think it was somewhere around the time of August, it took a nosedive and it fell on the top of it. And it rendered the ability to take scientific measurements, it was gone. It no longer worked appropriately. So I sent it to my friend, Chad Taylor, and he went ahead and replaced the face portion of it with a digital element. Now, the positive about it being digital is that in communicating with you guys, when you want me to switch from micrometers to inches, I now can do it without doing any math conversions. In fact, the micrometer does it for me. So that's super handy. The couple things that I don't really like about it is that it is going to be digital. So in being digital, it does have the ability that it needs a battery, and I consistently forget when I'm making reads that I need to turn it off when I'm done. So I will be probably replacing a battery a lot on it. The only other thing that I kind of miss about the original setup of the micrometer is that because it's digital, sometimes it's a little bit harder to read. When the numbers were on a white background, they really stood out for quick, easy measurements. And this being black on a gray background, it doesn't make it as easy to just read quickly and offhand. So I do still have my travel micrometer. For those of you that have been keeping up with me, you know I think I have, it's called a Chiarugi. I am horrible with pronunciation, so I might have just butchered that. But I do still have one that does have a white background on a face, which is great for when I'm taking pictures for you guys to let you see the measurements on the reed. But this one, like I said, it was not working. It had died, but I was still able to save all of the other elements other than the face and update it. So that's been a huge plus in my world. For those of you that have been keeping up with me on Snapchat, thank you for letting me know what you thought about when I tried to change the colors of the raff reeds. Typically, raff reeds have a teal and purple wrapping on them. And the purple thread that I usually would use was no longer available. So what I had to do was scour the internet for purple thread. My friends at Forest Reed went ahead and hooked me up with some. Now, this purple thread is much darker than the purple thread that I had normally been using, but we are still getting the job done. So if you're not following me on Snapchat, you might consider keeping up with me. I do like to talk you guys through some of the things that are going on in my world that wouldn't be as applicable to a long-term video that's on YouTube. So I find it kind of a fun place to keep up with you guys. Another bit that you might be familiar with because of Snapchat is that I did just get a brand new bassoon case. I got a Marcus Bonna case. It was custom made to fit my Heckle because my Heckle bassoon has an extra long joint. It's about 1/8 of an inch longer than most other bassoons. So I did have to have one custom made. The case was fantastic in so many ways, and the thing that really caught me off guard was how many changes that Marcus Bonna has made from the original case that I had to the new updated case. And the big trend that I'm seeing with bassoon cases now is that they come with a raincoat. I mean, I know I'm probably not the only bassoonist who has gotten stuck in a rainstorm and you have the gigantic umbrella and you hold it over your head, but the bassoon goes so low that you wonder if you should actually be putting your raincoat over the bassoon because you don't want it to get wet and the umbrella is obviously not covering. No longer is that an issue because I noticed that in my case there was an extra little pouch, and in that pouch there was a raincoat that could go over the outside of the case. I similarly noted when I did my bassoon trials of bassoons for under $5,000 when I bought a brand new Fox 41 in order to do that. Don't worry, I've since returned it. But when I did buy it, I saw what was cutting edge as far as bassoon cases on the market. And that one too came with a raincoat. So more and more, I think that the manufacturers are starting to understand that when you are a bassoonist, you might have to make it from point A to point B, and that's going to mean that you're going to have to go outside sometimes, and that the weather isn't always going to be on your side. And they are including raincoats. Now, if you have been watching, you know that the reason I bought the Marcus Bonna case is because in some ways I was very frustrated with my Koval case. My Koval case for my Heckle that I have has had issues with the straps. One of the straps within months of purchasing it, it broke. So while I was at the International Double Reed Society conference, I spoke to Justin Miller about just getting a new strap. And unfortunately, this was not as easy as just asking him to send me a couple of straps because the straps differ based on the age of the case. So what he did is he sent me some of the newer straps, and then I had to take parts of the older straps and the newer straps and then mosh them together so that I could get working bassoon straps on my Koval case. So, okay, here are the major differences. The top portions, these snap in, and as you can see, they are different. And because they are different, they would not snap into the case in the same way. So what I had to do is take the working one that fits my case off and then switch it over. Now you'd think it would just be as simple as switching a seat belt, but they are sewn in with an extra wide portion of fabric so that they will not just slide off. So I had to take them to a shoe repair place and have them cut off and then put on the other straps. Now this was all because the portion that had broken was this little hook. You can tell it feels very sturdy, but somehow within weeks, this little metal piece had broken out. So I had to get this taken off and put on the other strap as well so that it was working. Now, all of this had happened at a gig in between performances, and the Koval case is very heavy to carry, so I did want the backpack option so that I wasn't putting all of the weight on one arm and straining that one arm. Originally, I had just had it kind of mashed up together with a rock climbing carbiner, so it didn't look too good, so professional. So I do have this fixed now, so I do have a working Koval case again, which is a positive, but to me, I was so frustrated at that point, and also the Koval case is so much heavier than the Marcus Bonna case that I definitely wanted to make the switch over. If you want to see a bassoon case showdown video, be sure to leave me a comment. I've been kind of thinking where I have both styles of cases and they are so popular on the market, you might want to see exactly the differences between the style of cases. Another thing that I have gone ahead and gotten is more Eryn Oft style cane from Barton Cane. I had run out of it, and so I went ahead and made an order of this, and I have to say that the Donati cane is still really good. It is not too hard. It's not too soft for what I have been needing in my performances. And it also has a good level of projection, and it will darken up. So many of the raff reeds that I make, unless they are custom ordered, are made out of Eryn Oft style cane. The only thing I have noted more recently is that the cane that I've gotten has higher levels of hyperpigmentation in it. So it can make scraping a little bit more of a challenge, but I mean, that's true of any style of cane. You just have to keep an eye on it, and that's why having a micrometer that is working is so important. I have been ordering books. You guys always love when I talk about what books are in my collection. Now, this is another sneak preview to an upcoming video. I have beginning bassoon books. These are books that I have had on hand, but I wanted to make sure that I had fresh copies of them that didn't have any notes in them. I also have several other beginning bassoon books, and I'm thinking about doing an overview of what are my favorite books to start beginners out of and why, so that many of you that are trying to self-teach and you are watching my YouTube videos, you oftentimes have questions about the things that I like to start beginners, and I thought it would be great if we covered some of the top beginning bassoon books that are on the market and then how they work and what I love about them, because each of them is so unique in their own right. Now, this is almost a little bit embarrassing because I do these exercises every day, and I have done them by memory when I learned them in college, but I didn't actually own the book. I mean, I owned like a bootleg copy of several pages of the book, but I didn't own it, and I realized it was time to actually add it to my library. So I did pick up the Simon Kovar 24 Daily Exercises For anyone trying to learn to build speed or technique, these are the way to do it. You get the airspeed shifts of the lower register, you get the faster air for the higher register, and then you can work on shifting the air while slurring. So it's a great way to test your reeds to make sure that you do have those upward downward slurs. You're also making sure that you're getting those airspeed shifts and you're building fantastic technique. So I went ahead and picked up this from Forrest. It was, I think, about $25, and it was long overdue, I'm not gonna lie. The last thing I have to share with you guys are sticky notes. These are so cute. Okay, these are giraffe page marker sticky notes, and I love them because they have the long neck, so they stick outside of the book to mark the page that you're working on in the book. And then if you need to maybe not work on that page for a little bit, what you can do is fold the neck down in half so that it doesn't stick out of the book. But then if you want to come back to that, you can pull the neck back out, and it works just as well. So I picked these up on Amazon. I'm probably a little more excited about these than I should be, but we're covering all of the things that I have purchased in order to make my music making fun and accessible and not a lot of extra work. And these seem to get it done for me. Okay guys, this wraps up my fall haul. I hope you saw some things that you are interested in and could maybe help you. If you do want to see a bassoon case showdown, be sure to leave me a comment down below. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!